Леха, ты як? Леха!
Прыгай туда! Где вот, право есть этот! Владос жив!
Now fought over day and night as Ukraine tries to claw back every inch of occupied land. There is no talk of peace here, just the unending sound of war.
Брат мой, блядь! Сука!
El pasado día 6 de marzo fueron detenidos Alexander y Mikhailo Kononovich, acusados sin prueba alguna de colaborar con los servicios.
It has been over 600 days since the kidnapping of comrades Mikhail and Alexander Kononovich by the reactionary Zelensky regime of Ukraine. Since their arrest by the Ukrainian Security Service, our comrades are accused of being Russian and Belarusian spies. They are charged with, quote, forcibly changing or overthrowing the constitutional order or seizing state power, as well as conspiracy to commit such actions, and, quote, public calls for violent change or overthrow of the constitutional system or the seizure of state power, as well as dissemination of materials calling for such actions. These false charges can lead to sentences of 10 years or more. During their arrest, they have been tortured and beaten by the Ukrainian Security Service, and the right to defence from these accusations is being violated. The charges against the comrades are based almost entirely on publications posted on social media networks. The accusations of espionage are merely a cover for the latest stage of a broader anti-communist campaign carried out by the Ukrainian government in recent years.
In Kiev, a communist idol came crashing down. Anti-government protesters toppled Vladimir Lenin, the Russian revolutionary. With sledgehammers, they smashed to pieces this symbol of Russian influence over Ukraine. Everyone wanted their piece of Lenin. It's the most sought-after souvenir now in Kiev.
Ukrainian is free now, and it's a symbol of our revolution and our freedom.
A large crowd gathered in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv on Sunday to watch the toppling of a statue of former Soviet leader Vladimir Lenin. The statue of Lenin is the largest one in Ukraine and was pulled down by ropes in front of a jubilant crowd waving the Ukrainian flag and singing the national anthem.
The government that took power in Ukraine after the US-backed Euro-Maiden coup of 2014 outlawed the Communist Party and banned it from running candidates in elections. The party's youth organisation was also made illegal, and its members were subjected to political persecution by the police, courts and security services. Across the country, the government enforced a policy of so-called decommunisation that not only outlawed the CPU, but also forbid the use of any communist names or symbols in public. They mandated the destruction of Soviet war memorials and prevented any teaching about the positive aspects of the Soviet Union in history classes in schools. This isn't the first time that the brothers have been targeted by both state authorities and fascist militia forces. According to a filing on record with the European Parliament, while leaving flowers at a monument to the Red Army soldiers who fought against the fascist German invaders, Mikhail Kononovich and other members of the Komsomol were attacked by right-wing militants. Kononovich suffered serious blows to the head, and another member nearly lost his sight. Fascist gangs attempted to pressure hospital staff not to treat them, and also regularly intimidate Kononovich's wife and daughter at their home since the attack. 3 weeks after the Euro-Maiden coup, Mikhail was working in the party office in Kiev when the building was stormed by fascists. Armed with rifles and dressed in balaclavas, they stormed the building and assaulted the comrades inside. Mikhail was stabbed, beaten and kidnapped by these fascists. He was dragged unconscious from the building under the watchful gaze of the police. After being taken away and beaten for refusing to denounce communism, he was left for dead in the woods. Finally, the fascists lined him up and put a gun to his head as if to execute him, and then proceeded to shoot 3 bullets past his head during this mock execution.
Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи! Приветствуем Всемирную Федерацию Демократической Молодежи.
The World Federation of Democratic Youth have called on all the anti-imperialist youth around the world to strengthen for the struggle of the Kononovich brothers' release, and to put pressure on their own countries and to carry out all possible actions until Mikhail and Alexander Kononovich are free. This call has been met with sharp campaigns launched by communists and anti-imperialists from around the globe. Posters highlighting the situation have sprung up throughout Europe and even in the US and Asia. A number of banner drops in Europe have also occurred. 2 banner drops were conducted in Scotland by the Young Communist League of Britain. One was accompanied by leafleting inside Celtic Football Club's stadium during their fixture against Hearts of Midlothian in August of 2022. Another was during the Scotland vs Ukraine game in June 2022. As the conflict in Ukraine worsens, so does the situation of our brothers.
Мы, братья Кононовичи, украинские антифашисты и коммунисты, обращаемся к Всемирной Федерации Демократической Молодежи, ко всем коммунистам левым Европы и всего мира.
They have since been placed on house arrest and are required to constantly wear monitoring devices. To make matters worse, a Ukrainian law enforcement agent has exposed the address of the brothers and publicly declared and encouraged their execution from fascist forces.
Действующий работник полиции. И недавно выставил пост в Фейсбуке, где публично призывает к нашему убийству, распространяет наш адрес проживания. Напоминаю, мы находимся под домашним арестом, никуда не можем уйти, поэтому мы в ловушке, мы в капкане. И власть, режим отлично это знает. Они обращаются через Facebook к общественности. Давайте убьем Кононовичей, и вам ничего за это не будет. Нас режим Зеленского выводит в плоскость вне закона. Это как Германия 30-х годов, где коммунисты и антифашисты были вне закона. Это публично бросают клич украинскому обществу. Убивайте их, вам ничего за это не будет. Товарищи, мы вас очень просим выходить к посольствам, консульствам в Европе и в мире, выходить к официальным органам власти Евросоюза, к миссии ОБСЕ, ООН, другим общественным организациям всемирным.
The anti-imperialist youth of the world will not rest until our comrades are free. Our call is loud and it is clear. Free Kononovich.